Nimesikia ukitajwa mitaani na kanisani waziimba sifa zako, yasemekana wewe ni muweza yote, hakuna jambo lolote likushindalo, na shida zote, magonjwa yote, hata na wafu na shangaa. Sema ulifunga midomo ya simba, wana Israeli kala wakate toka mbinguni. Sara naye Sara, hakuna jambo lolote likushindalo, na shida zote, magonjwa yote, hata na wafu. Mimi nashangaa, nashangaa.
Hi guys, how are you? Wow, this has been such a long time. I've really missed you. And we really thank God that He's been able to give us a time to be able to come and meet with you. It's been quite a while since we met, but we thank God that He's given us this opportunity to be able to meet again on this kind of a forum. And so this time we want to see what our lesson is going to take us into. Do you remember what last time you learned with Teacher Lida about the Israelites and the Midianites? Well, today we are going to continue on that story. And now we want to see what happens to the children of Israel. And at this point, they begin to cry to God and to ask God to help them because they were in so much trouble. The Midianites came and destroyed their land. They cut their crops. They frustrated them. They took their animals. They caused them to be so miserable such that they did not understand how their life was going to continue like this. And so there was a man at this time that God was also preparing to be able to help them be able to get a way out of their trouble. And so as they were crying like this, God talked to a man called Gideon. Now Gideon was a person who was given a kind of work, and this work was known as judges. Now in that time, judges were the people who came in turns that ruled in the country of Israel. They did not have kings at that time, so the judges were the people that were helping to rule in that country. And so when God comes to Gideon and talks to him, he tells him, "O mighty man of valor," he tells them that he would want to give him a task to be able to help the children of Israel. And so Gideon, when Gideon heard the voice of God and he found out that God wanted to be able to use him, he wanted to know really why is it that they are also in so much trouble. And he was wondering, why God are we in so much trouble? And so at this time he told God, if God really you're the one who is with us, I need to know whether really you're going to help us overcome our trouble. And so he asked God for 2 tests. And these tests were going to be able to help him know whether it's God who is speaking to him or is another kind of, or something else which is not God. And so with the first test, he asked God, he was going to ask God, there was something like a wool which he was calling fleece. And so as he was using the fleece, he was going to leave it outside into the night. And when the piece of fleece was going to be wet and the grass was dry, he was going to know that God is with them. And then he asked God for another test a second time. This time he asked God to let the fleece be completely dry and the grass to be wet. And when he woke up the next morning, he found out that the fleece was completely dry and the grass was wet. And so he confirmed, indeed, God was with me. And so he asked God, how are we going to go about this? And so God gave him a strategy. And what was the strategy? They were going to have a large army. And as they got the large army, because in Israel they had large armies, and armies that fought by battles and overcame many countries. At this particular time, the army was brought up together. But when God looked at the army and saw there was such a great number, God told Daniel, no, we are not going to have such a large number of people. We are going to reduce the numbers. And so God gave Gideon different ways on how to divide the number of the soldiers. There were a large number, and God wanted the number reduced to a smaller number. So they were great numbers, almost to about 200,000 people. So from 200,000, God reduced the numbers from 200 to less than 200 to up to 10,000, from 10,000 all the way up to 300 soldiers. And just imagine, were they going to win a battle with 300 soldiers? But this was the Lord. He had told them, I want to work with only 300 soldiers. And so that was not enough. when they were having the 300 soldiers, and by the way, as they were looking for the 300 soldiers, different groups were to do different things. And by the time they were getting the 300 soldiers, they took the 10,000 soldiers to the river and told them to lap water from the river. And as they lapped the water, those who bent down and licked the water, Gideon was observing. And those who took the water with their laps and brought it to their mouth with their weapons in their hand, Gideon was observing. And so when he looked at those two groups, then Gideon decided, we are not going to have those lapping the water all the way down to the ground. He was going to take up take the soldiers who lapped the water from their mouths with their weapons in their hands. And imagine there were the 300 soldiers. And so Gideon took the 300 soldiers with him and he went to a strategic position. God told him, from this strategic position, I want you to be able to go and near the camp of the Midianites, and I want you to set yourself ready. The Lord told Gideon to divide them into 3 groups of 100 each, 100 each, 100 each. How many groups are those? 300 people in 100, 100, 100. And they were all to sit in different set places that the Lord had told Gideon. And because Gideon needed to feel strong about what God had told him, he needed to be bold. Everybody say, bold with me. Exactly. Excellent. So they needed to be bold. And as he was bold, God told him, I need you to know that I am with you. So he told him in the evening, while you have put yourself in a strategic position, walk to a different section, a section where I'll be able to help you know that I am with you. So he walked to a different place behind the camp of the Midianites. And the Lord enabled him to hear the Midianites talk. He overheard the Midianites talk. And one of the Midianites was saying, he was giving a dream that he saw a kind of sponge come into their camp and defeat the whole camp. And eventually one of the Midianites explained, he said, wow, that can only be that man from Israel, the man called Gideon. And as Gideon overheard the talk, he got strengthened, he got encouraged, and he knew indeed God had told me that we would get victory from the Midianites, and so that strengthened him. He also gained some courage in that kind of overhearing the talk of the Midianites. So when they went back to his soldiers in their strategic positions and in the group that he gave instructions to each one of them. They were going to take a trumpet. Imagine, they were going to use a trumpet to be able to win the battle. And so each one of them took their trumpets and they were going to hold it and wait for the instruction of Gideon. And so there they were. They went and took their trumpets and stood strategic, waiting for Gideon to give them the instruction. When Gideon set himself in the right place and he was there waiting, Gideon gave them a thumbs up. He took up his trumpet and they all took up their trumpets. And he began to blow the trumpet. And guess what they were saying? For the Lord and for Gideon. For the Lord and for Gideon. Shout with me, children. For the Lord and for Gideon. For the Lord and for Gideon. For the Lord and for Gideon. And they took up their trumpets. Children, take up your trumpets and let's blow together. Pam, param, pere, pam, param, pere, pam, param, pere. And they blew the trumpets. They blew them so loud. They blew them. Guess what happens to what happened to the camp of the Midianites? They woke up to a confused mind, and they got confused. They did not understand. Now let me alert you and let you know, at this point that this was happening, it was in the night. So the Midianites could not think properly. They were all confused. They came out of their camps. They ran in different directions. And then Gideon told them, this is the time. Stand up. The Lord has given us the Midianites. Let's rush in. Let's begin to take for ourselves up to fight the Midianites. And when this particular 300 group was with them, they ran out. They went and began to fight the Midianites, to annihilate them, to finish them, to kill them. And then that was not enough. Gideon went on now to call the other soldiers who are left back in their city and to tell them, come over. The Lord has given us the people. The Lord has allowed us to receive victory. And they came down and they killed the Amalekites and they destroyed them. And all the Midianites were completely killed and destroyed. And now the Israelites had victory. They were happy, they were excited, and they came back to thank the Lord. And so we are able to see that God was able to give Gideon victory. But what are we learning in our story today? We are learning that when you can be fearful, when you can be scared, when you're sure you need to do something and you're not so confident about yourself, and you ask the Lord to help you, He will be able to walk with you. If you feel like you can go ahead, talk to God in prayer. Tell Him, God, I'm not courageous. I don't know what to do, but I need you to give me strength. I need to overcome whatever it is that you are bringing into my life. And so when you put a prayer before God and ask Him to walk with you, to help you, to guide you, He will be able to walk with you. So talk to God and ask Him to help you and to be encouraged. So what we are learning from this story is that you can be bold and you can stand strong and ask God to help you and to give you great victory over your trouble. Is it trouble in school? Is it trouble from people who are bullying you? Is it trouble from people who are making you miserable? Is it trouble from wherever you can think it would come from? Ask God and He'll be able to give you trouble. And so that's it for us today. We end our story there and believe that we'll have a wonderful time. Okay, now I would like us to look at our craft. And what are we going to make today? We are going to make a trumpet. How many love to make trumpets? Oh yes, I can see exactly a trumpet. And today we are going to look at our materials. You need to have your paper. I have mine, a big paper. But for you at home, you don't have to have a big paper. You can get a nice little paper. That's a normal paper for a foolscap, an A4 size. You can ask Mommy to get you one. And then I have masking tape. I have a pair of scissors. And I have my lovely stickers. Now, each of the things you're going to see what I'm going to do with them. Now, if we want to make a trumpet, because I want you to be able to see how to make a trumpet, I have a great big size of a manila paper, okay? You can use your A4 paper so that you can be able to make just an easy one for yourself, okay? Now, put it up on the table. I am using my laps because I'm outside having fun. But that's why I'm using my laps. We're going to spread out the paper in front of you, and you're going to take it and fold it like a cone, like cone shape, okay? Go around with me, let's fold easily, easily, easily. Sometimes it won't be that straight. I will show you what to do so that it can be straightened up, okay? You fold it until you're finished doing a whole round size. You're then going to pull it out, use your hand, pull it out, and make it into a lovely piece of cone, okay? How many of you eat groundnuts? You buy groundnuts near your shop somewhere. You usually see those people who sell groundnuts. They make a round cone shape like this, and they pour the groundnuts. Now today we are going to have that kind of shape. I'll help you see how I've already helped you know how to be able to make that kind of cone shape, okay? And then hold it on tight so that it doesn't unroll. Take your cello tape. For me, I don't have cello tape. I have masking tape, okay? Roll it out easily. Mine is a bit tough to come out, okay? Then I will take my pair of scissors and cut my sellotape. Take the little piece of sellotape and stick it where you had rolled. So now your cone shape is all together. You can hold it out, okay? Fine. So you leave a little hole there because you will need to blow into your trumpet. Now we can't call it a cone anymore. We have made a trumpet, okay? And so after you have made that little shape, you're going to take your lovely stickers. You can have lots of nice colored stickers. Mine has only one little lovely color, and that's silver color. I think it's a lovely color, okay? Then you're going to take your stickers and decorate your trumpet. Decorate it all around. Put all nice round on your trumpet. Make it look beautiful and lovely. Make it look really nice, and really have lots of fun as you make your trumpet. Stick it on in each and every way and make it as beautiful, okay? You can have some lovely colored ones with animals on it. You can have ones with stars, shiny stars. You can have stickers with every kind of thing, anything that you can find in your house, some gold stars, whatever it is you want to be able to stick onto your trumpet. And so this was what now the Midianites all were having. And then let's imagine I am myself here, Teacher Nyambura, with one lovely trumpet. Let's imagine I am Gideon, and all of you children at home are the 300 soldiers. And so at my command, you are all going to blow the trumpet. Mummies and daddies can help, aunties and uncles, cousins and brothers, and whoever is at home with you. Although at this particular time, maybe you should just have family all by yourself. And so let's all of us go together. Let's take our trumpets and we are going to blow. Remember our statement, because I am Gideon. We will say, for the Lord and for Gideon. For the Lord and for Gideon. Can we go? For the Lord and for Gideon. For the Lord and for Gideon. 1, 2, go. Blow your trumpet. And imagine they blew their trumpets and blew their trumpets and blew their trumpets. And then they all came out and went and fought the Midianites. And the Lord gave them victory. So children, this is how you can ask God to give you victory. You may not have a trumpet when your trouble comes, but your trumpet also can be your voice. You use it to cry out to God to give you victory. And so that's it for today. We hope that you will take time to think about this lesson in the course of the week. Take time also to pray to God, to ask Him to help you in whatever situation you need Him to give you boldness. If it's somebody bullying you in school, remember, you are going to shout in your heart, for the Lord and for Gideon. For the Lord. Now you can say with me, you don't have to say Gideon anymore. You say for the Lord and say your name. I will say my name. For the Lord and for Teacher Nyambura. For the Lord and for Teacher Nyambura. So say your name and experience victory in the Lord. Okay. Now children, once you've made your lovely trumpet, please take a photo and then send it to us so that we can be able to see what you have done. We will really be excited to see what each one of you have done. And so that's it for today. Have a lovely time. Sanitize your hands. Use soap and water to clean up and keep safe. Bye-bye.